I did all my own stunts because I couldn't afford a stunt double. Yeah, I have a new appreciation for people who do their own stunts. We filmed this entire short film in 2 days, fully self-funded. We wrote, produced, directed, edited everything in-house.
Dope.
And, we wanted to see natives doing something that pushed the envelope creatively in the film room. And I figured the only person who's going to bring this vision to life, bring my vision to life first, is me.
I got the fire like kerosene, stay on the move like amphetamine. Addicted to pain, now I'm running the game, overloading my brain with the dopamine. Knowing the one be controlling me, I want the smoke and they're choking me. Feel like a monster causing a threat, taking the aim at the side of your neck.
Yo, Doc. Oh my gosh, new joint. We'll talk about that. Always good to see you, my brother. Let's just dive in, man. Introduce yourself to the people, man. Let them know who you are, your tribe, where you're from, and your favorite cereal, my man. Let's go.
Doc native, all the way from Hollywood, Florida, Seminole tribe of Florida member. Kuwate, I'm a Panther Clan. I'm also half Choctaw, from Choctaw Nation of Oklahoma. So, Alito, Chiantamo is my language, is my favorite cereal. It changed with the times, but I think Fruity Pebbles is my favorite.
Bro,
yeah,
classic.
When I want to indulge, Fruity Pebbles is the way to go.
That's the one. Something about 2:30 in the morning, man. I don't know what it is.
But when I used to go to my grand's house in Oklahoma, it was Kix. Bro, that's a throwback, right?
Bro, that's Kix. The grandma's cereal you just ever mentioned right now. That's crazy.
The grandma's cereal, right?
First of all, thanks for being here. You do a lot of stuff. And so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to reach in the bag. We're going to pick out a little topic of the stuff that you're into, because you ain't just one-dimensional. You're multi-dimensional. So what we got here, music. So right off that, let the people know what you're into. You could talk about your old school stuff if you want to lead up to your new joint, but just kind of how you got into music, man. Break us down.
Music has been in my family for almost 100 years. Started with my great-grandfather. He got a $1 pipe organ back in Oklahoma, and they worked to get that pipe organ. He taught himself how to play and sing, and then him and my great-grandmother, they sang gospel music together. And so they learned how to put harmonies together, and it started trickling on down. So my grandfather, Doc, so that's where I get my name from, is my grandfather, Henry Batiste Sr. His nickname is Doc, and so I figured, to pay homage to him, I would take on that name as well and try to live up to it. My dad is a singer, my mom's a singer, and I got into hip hop because of my uncle, who had no musical ability at all on my Seminole side. He had a bunch of friends who lived in the hip hop scene down in South Florida, a couple of street dancers and battle rappers, and he brought me to some underground recording studios, and I had these dudes teach me how to write. How to break down 16 bars and how to use imagery, really make verses come to life with rhyme schemes. And I really appreciate all the time that all my mentors took with me, because, I was just a kid. So for them to see something in me, to want to invest that time, was really admirable for growing people to want to help mold my musical journey, and I stopped making music and I stopped playing because I was a drummer for my family band for a long time. And I didn't really like being in front of the mic and all that.
Interesting.
It was more my brother's thing.
Wow.
My brother got picked up and I started writing his coattails because he was going back and forth from New York and LA. And he started working in studios with bigger names. And so I was like, I want to be in the room where it happens, So I would sit in the back with the writers and ask them, why'd you write it like this? Or what do you think about that? Like, I had a real passion for the creation project. And they were so generous, like with their knowledge. Like I would go sit with the engineer. I'm like, why are you recording it that way? Or what are doubles? And
hungry.
And yeah. And they're taking the time to show me, oh, this is why I'm doing this and this is why I'm doing that. And I don't get here without mentorship and without people passing down their knowledge to me. That's why I feel so strongly in my convictions to always want to teach also, because it was taught to me. I grew up in an era where YouTube wasn't a thing yet. I was fortunate enough, blessed enough to get to be around people that were in the industry. I was like, you know what? I know enough now. All right, let me start trying to do my own thing, start writing some more. Because I was going back and forth. I wanted to be an athlete. I wanted to play football. I was pretty good. I was an all-star in high school. I had some colleges looking at me, and I'm like, every boy's dream. I want to play in the NFL. But, it hurts. That road hurts. I'm still paying for it. So I started writing for my brother, started helping him out with his music. He won a couple awards, and I had a friend, another mentor. He goes by the name of Vigilante, and he's a rapper down here. And we had a serious conversation who was like, yo, you halfway in, you halfway out. Are you going to be like behind the scenes the whole time? Or don't be hot or cold. Like if you're going to go in, go all the way in and call yourself an artist. And so with that challenge, I was like, all right, I'm gonna lock in and I'm gonna really focus on this thing.
Dope.
So I started recording, and then the elders in my tribe, they're always like, you guys are writing everything, but you don't write about our people.
Interesting.
Me and my brother, we're putting it off because it's such a real and delicate subject matter. So you got to be very precise on what you say. And so we wrote a song together called The Storm. It came so organically that when we put pen to paper, it's like my hand didn't come up until the song was done. I put together some chords, and we weren't even planning on writing the song that night. And so once we got finished with the song, it's about the history of our tribe and about some of the stories that they don't tell you in the history books. And, being a rapper and listening to music and then thinking about history and all that, it kind of feels corny if you don't do it right. I feel like that's where the line was I was like, do we do this, but not make it corny? Like, how do we do that? And then, but also be real and be respectful to our history. But when it came out, it was like the ancestors took over, and it's
powerful, like, bro. We'll say
everything came into that.
Not the one that Stephen Paul Judd did the video for?
Yeah.
Shout out, DJ.
I think that was his first music video too.
Might have been.
Yeah, and it came out, long story short, and it propelled us and took us everywhere around the world. We sung that song in London, in Hyde Park. We sung it in Spain. We sung it at the Native American Music Awards, which got the eyes of Taboo. Mm-hmm. And that song was blessed from the very beginning. It's not because of us, but because of the community that surrounded it. And ever since then, my music career has been steady for the past, I say, 15 years, baby.
Is that how you got on stand-up?
Yes, sir.
In that song?
Yeah, he saw me and my brother perform it live.
Okay, dope. That's how y'all came over to stand-up. Because we're going to talk a little bit about stand-up and being involved with it, and then later what stand-up eventually turned into.
Yeah. During that time with the Dakota Access Pipeline, a lot of people were lending their voices, and me being all the way in South Florida and wanting to be in the front lines and all that, I had that feeling I had to say something. Like, I can't just sit here in my box and not do nothing. We all need to lend our voices to what's going on and the injustices that are happening to our brothers and sisters on the opposite side of America. So I was writing stuff, and my voice at that time, I didn't feel like I had enough of a platform, and I've never really been into like self-promotion and all that. I try. But when Tab asked us to be on the song, I felt, okay, now we have a platform. Now we have a wider audience. And now we can really speak on this and get as many eyes as we can on it. And just for the love and for the solidarity, not for any type of financial gain or any type of celebrity. I just wanted to help in any way that I could.
That was one of the hard lines for us to find was how do we help? How do we bring attention without getting in the way?
Yeah.
And I thought that was stand-up spoke for itself, leading to all of a sudden we get nominated for an MTV Music Video Award. What was that like for you? And going to the event, what was that like?
Bro, it was crazy. I was in line at Taco Bell. I remember getting a message and just like, I called my brother and I was like, is this real? And he was like, I don't know. Maybe text Tab and see if it's real. So I got texted him and he was like, yeah, it's real. We're nominated. He's like, congratulations, guys. And so we rushed over to my grandma's house and like my family all kind of gathered together and then we showed like my grandma and obviously my grandma's a very big part of my life. So so it was amazing to get the recognition and to be with my family and get to celebrate together that not only are we going to be on the forefront in a major music platform, but also the message as well. Because now they were playing it on MTV. And I remember putting on MTV and seeing the music video pop up and seeing the message, seeing all the people, seeing all the flags that were represented, hearing about what was going on in North Dakota.
That was crazy, bro. The whole globe got to see a little bit about that representation, you know? One cool thing about being part of that process, bro, was like Tab would sometimes pull us to the side and be like, and this could have been his moment if he wanted to. He could have took that moment and just been like, hey, it's my moment. We'll tell you how it goes. But instead he brought us to the carpet. We're walking that carpet and, you know, every now and then he would pull us to the side and he'd be like, hey, man, you guys have been doing this for a long time and it's time people see you and him platforming us in the world. What was that walking the carpet like for you?
It was surreal, but I didn't let the moment overtake me. You know, I was thinking about myself for a minute. Like, I'm here, I'm finally here. And then we were on the carpet for a minute. So I got to start thinking about a lot of things. And I was looking around, I'm like, we can do this as a people.
Yeah. We.
Ooh. I looked around and I was like, I just met Lil Yachty, I met Kendrick, I'm standing there with DJ Khaled, and I'm totally name dropping right now because I want to name drop because these people are just that, they're people.
Mm-hmm. They were.
They got their teams, they got their marketing, all that, but
just like us.
They're just like us. And so I was like thinking to myself, if this can be the crack in that glass ceiling for the next generation to come up, and then the floodgates will open for, let's say, the new kids on the block that are coming through, that are bringing some heat. I mean, they are good. We have talent in the country, and that's what I was thinking of. This should open up some doors finally, so we see one of our people standing up there holding up the award and getting the recognition and hearing their songs on the radio. I've got the recognition that I needed. I feel fortunate for the path that my career has taken off and taken into place. And now I'm just hoping and praying for that next generation to be able to experience what I got to experience.
Yes.
This time, take it even further.
Dope.
And be on every single stage.
I'm going to try to show you something here. So not only did we go to MTV Music Awards, we win. Right?
Yeah.
For the first time in recorded history, they decided that everybody was doing good in the earth, so everybody in that category should win, including us, John Legend, Logic. It was phenomenal. Oh, wow, what does that mean? But I'm going to share this with you. This is a moment that Tab did, and see what you think about it.
Oh, man. I ain't seen this in a minute.
Wait, this is mine? No. Yeah. That's you, bro. Well deserved, brother.
Yeah, man. What was that moment like for you, brother?
Bro, like, there is, for one, I don't like you right now. Man, I haven't seen that.
Nah, that was
I
my.
haven't seen that video. I don't think I've ever seen that video. Bro, you really try to open me right now? Yeah. Uh, we go as artists through a lot of ups and downs, a lot of self-doubt,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times where we want to just quit. But the love of the music and the love of creating is ingrained in us. So that's why we don't stop. We may put a pause here and there, but it's just something that the creator gave us inside. It's a lot of hard work and it's a lot of self-sacrifice too. The hours that are spent unseen by the public and by our peers for that to come through and to win a major award like that shows that it's achievable, it's attainable,
It's possible.
even for a little Indian boy from the Hollywood reservation. It's achievable. And guess what? I did it from home.
Woo! Come on.
I did it from the reservation. That's where we got it from. I didn't have to sell out my people, sell out my culture. I didn't have to do all that. I did it right from Seminole reservation, and it's possible. And now, so more than ever, because of all the platforms and all the social media stuff that people always give a bad rap to, but there's a good side to it as well. It's now we have more visibility, we have more eyes on us, and there's so much more talent that is out there than what has ever been seen before. So it's possible.
Wow.
And that tuned it.
Yeah. And this is before Reservation Dogs. This is before the current state of media with indigenous representation. This was not saying we're the first. There was a lot of people who've chipped at this, but and in many different facets. Speaking of different facets, this card says acting. So I'm scrolling my social and I start seeing these like super dope, suited up native fight scene. I'm like, what am I watching? Bro, what is that? You got to tell us about that.
So I love acting. That's one of my first passions. When I was in school, I was a lead in my first school play, and I was one of the youngest to lead an entire school play. And I felt really passionate about it, but athletics were always my main thing. But in the back of my head, like growing up on the road, that's all we had was VHS tapes. I'm dating myself, but we had VHS tapes, so we watched a bunch of movies and stuff. That was my escape, was being inside a little RV for hours on end. I could watch movies. Every time I would see a native actor, I would get excited. Like, Dad, who's that? Dad, there's natives on this. And I'd be so excited. I think it was Adam Beach who said Hollywood loves us in the 1800s or 1700s. We're so much more than that.
Yeah.
And we're modern people. And I wanted to see us do something outside of a Western. I'm not trying to discredit any of the Westerns because I've been in a couple of Westerns that are dope. Like I love
period pieces.
Westerns.
Yeah.
I love period pieces, but I also want to see us push the envelope a little bit more, see us do.
I mean, you look good. You look good, suited up, bro.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it.
What was that?
It's a story that I wrote with my wife and my co-director, or not co-director. He is our director. My co-writer, Adam Conti. He's Mohawk.
Shout out.
We all had the idea of like, we want to see like a John Wick type, you know? And
native John Wick.
I want to see a native assassin, and
Yes.
I want to see stunts, and I want to see fight scenes and all that because I love the action genre.
So do you dabble with stunts also, or just acting, or do both?
For this project, I did both. I did all my own stunts because I couldn't afford a stunt double. I have a new appreciation for people who do their own stunts. We filmed this entire short film in 2 days, fully self-funded. We wrote, produced, directed, edited, everything in-house.
Dope.
And, we wanted to see natives doing something that pushed the envelope creatively in the film room. And I figured the only person who's going to bring this vision to life, bring my vision to life first, is me. And then later on, we can branch out and get more people involved. But as long as we have something tangible, then people can see the vision and go off of that. And I don't know what it is, but I guess my whole career is about breaking glass ceilings and opening the door. And if somebody can do it better than me, then great. That's what I hope for. I want people to be better than me. I want people to push things much further than I can do myself. But for the time being, if it's not done yet, then I'm going to be the first to open that door. Man, doing these stunts, getting ready for it, the choreography, watching many YouTube videos on how to not hurt yourself and
Thought
get
I saw
things.
some clips where you took a couple shots.
Oh boy, yeah. I took a very big fist right here into my nose. Shout out to Vigilante, my mentor who I told you about. Yeah, he gave me a little wake up call, reality, full circle moment.
Dope.
But yeah, these things happen on set.
Are there places that they can see movies that you're in?
Yes, Ghost is on my YouTube page, Doc Natives. Just search me up, DOCNATIVE. I'm really young in my acting career, so a lot of things that I've acted in are still in development. But thankfully, I've been busy working. Got to be at Echo, Marvel's Echo. I met a lot of dope natives on set. Funny story about Echo. So we're sitting around waiting for us to be called to get on set because our we're on set, but we're waiting to get called. We spend a lot of time with my co-stars, and there's like 9 of us, and we all got to know each other really well. And you know how natives are. Once you get together, it's like being with a family. And so we're sitting there, fully makeup from the top of our head to the soles of our feet. We got all the prosthetics on, and we're sitting in a circle, just laughing, telling jokes, and telling stories and all that. Because we're trying to keep ourselves entertained in between shots. Somebody walks over and goes, "Yeah, how long have you all known each other?" And we're like, "Oh, we all just met each other a couple of days ago." And he was like, "The way you guys are talking sounds like you guys know each other forever." And I said, "That's just how Native people are. There's something in our spirit that is familiar with each other. And we become family just like that.
Just like that.
Because we are family.
Good job.
One world, one people, baby."
Yeah, man. This one's a wild one right here. This one says, wrestling gators.
Oh, yeah. I'm a Florida Seminole, and alligators have been a part of our people for a long time because we live out in the swamp. Being out in the swamp, you gotta know your territory, know your surroundings, and understand the wildlife. Our chief, her name was Betty Mae Jumper, and she was alligator wrestling. But alligator wrestling has gone back in my family since my great grandfather. He was an alligator wrestler. And it trickled on down from my uncles to my dad, who is a Choctaw, but now he's living on the Seminole reservation. So, of course, he picked it up because it's how we fed our family. We did a lot of tourism.
By doing that for tourism, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So we would do that to put food on the table. And I felt like I needed to be more in touch with my Seminole roots. I like doing things physically, as we were talking about with the stunts and all that, and being athletic. And so I thought, this is kind of synonymous with what I like doing, being in the line of some type of adrenaline, some type of danger, but also learning about the animal and the respect of dealing with these creatures, because a lot of people see them as nuisance and they get destroyed.
Oh yeah,
a lot because we have so much infrastructure going on in our territories. But I figured, like, once we get to know these animals, we can have a little bit more respect for their territories and where they reside. So my dad got me into it, and my mom was furious because he's a drummer. He plays piano. He's gonna lose a finger, because almost all alligator wrestlers that I know have lost an appendage or
you still got all you think, man.
Not through lack of trying. I got bit right here, right on my thumb. I've been wrestling for a couple months, started getting pretty good. I'm very confident, a little cocky. And that's where everybody gets bit is when they're being a little bit cocky. So I wanted to show my baby brother because my baby brother, Taylor, he started being around us a little bit more in the gator pit. And so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna show you a couple things. So I showed him how to like pull the gators out, jump on their back and all that. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna show you a face catch. And that's where you go up to the gators face to face and you catch them by their mouth. And I said, all right, you catch them, sometimes they shake. And if your hand slips off, let go and just reset. I said, don't ever catch them and put your hand back. I grab the gator, he shakes, my hand goes off, and just an instant reaction, I put my hand back and my thumb goes right into the gator's mouth and it chomps down. Thankfully, he let go. And I looked at my brother and I was like, that's why you don't do that. Let's go to the hospital.
Man, I don't know what. Woo! Yeah, built different, bruh. Built different. Yeah, other people run away from them and you run to them, jump on them. Wow, bro. Yeah.
That's not my first bite either. I got bit on my face and I got bit on the inside of my leg.
I think that's cool, especially from the cultural element, you know. For my non-native
Thank
folks
you.
that watch this sometimes, Seminoles are sometimes called unconquered. What does that mean?
We are still unofficially at war with the US government. Only now we don't use war tactics or we don't fight with our hands or with weapons, but we fight the government on legislation. We use our brain power. Now it's a bit more cordial. We still have our ways, our battles in Congress and all that, but we have signed peace treaties before, but they were always broken. And so the last one that they tried to make us sign, that's where you get Osceola stabbing it and saying, we're not signing anymore. And so we have never officially signed a peace treaty.
That's
and
dope.
that's why they call us the unconquered Seminoles.
Is it true that, I don't know if I'm not asking you like as an expert, and just us chit-chatting here. Is it true that there's an oak tree across the street from the Hard Rock that is the oak tree that y'all have always met at?
That is the council oak.
The concept of that just kind of like, because the contrast, you have this huge guitar reaching up into the sky. You have the Hard Rock International, which you guys have been on your game and in your bag as far as business and savvy and all that. And across the street is this oak tree. And I'm like, that's the spot. Like, that's still here.
Yep. And it's surrounded by a gate and they have security that check up on it all the time. I took a friend of mine over there and, you know, I'm Seminole, so I feel like it's my land. I can walk through wherever I want. So I opened the gate and I walked in. And as soon as I walked in, there was all this security came over because they don't know who I am. And they're like, excuse me, you can't be in there. And then, but they guard it. They guard that because it's such a special tree. And every time we have our regime change or council meetings or anything very serious, we go by that tree and we do our government stuff in front of the tree. Still to this day.
And still. Wow.
And still. That tree is very sacred to us.
I always think of that, even though, you know, I'm a different tribe. I always think of that as an example of when people say that all the stuff that we've had to go through, we're still here. I always think of that tree, and I think about your practice that you still keep, even in the shadow of the progress and the Hard Rock International. It's so cool to be balanced, you know? I think that's great. Is there anything on your heart, bro, before we're out of here?
You know what? I have been sitting back for a while, but especially on the music tip, been songwriting a lot. Recently got accepted for the Recording Academy. So now I'm a voting member for the Grammys. And I thought, you know what? I've been focusing on helping out a lot of other artists, but now it's time for me to start getting back into my own thing. And I still help other artists. I write, I produce, I engineer. I'll never put that off. But now I'm about to put out many more songs, stuff I've been working on. A couple people that are collaborating with me that I'm very excited about, pushing the envelope, you know, going outside of just one genre and then hitting many different fields like Afro beats and things of that nature. And I want to have a good time with this next leg of my career. So I got some things coming out pretty soon, and I got more music videos on the way, more performances. I got more filming I got to do. I'm coming, man. I'm coming.
Dope. That's it. That's awesome. Hey, we're gonna put all your socials up for those of you checking them out. You're somebody that doesn't do this for the clout. You're not doing this for the gram. You're doing this for grandma. So
yeah, I like that.
Kind of for the gram. If you don't understand what I'm saying. So give him a follow, even though he don't necessarily need him. Go get him. This is about community, is building a positive ecosystem. And I want to say thanks a lot for coming. Thanks a lot for being. Thanks a lot for sharing. And keep this community moving.
Yes, sir.
And
Thank you so much, One.
You got it, man, anytime. And we'll see all of y'all on the next